there's eggplant that is hidden in between my other raised bed, in between the plants. So,
My lord.
yeah, so we have different size bees. The tiny ones, they like the cilantro flowers. I don't know if you guys can see them, but they're so cute.
Pretty incredible, aren't they? Look at that.
So I'm gonna let the dill plant, the dill herbs and the cilantro go to seed, and then I'm gonna let them reseed themselves and collect some of the seeds. But the small bees, they love these flowers, so I'm just letting them go to seed, mainly to attract the bees, because I noticed before they didn't go to flower, there weren't that much bees here. But these flowers, that's a secret to get the bees to get attractive to your garden, because bees come in different sizes and different color, and they all do something different. I don't know the name of these bees. Don't know if you guys can see. I don't know the name of these ones here, but these are bees. They come in different sizes and colors. Come Jean, I want to show you how these bees, they're attractive to my lavender herb. There are like two of them there. Look how beautiful the lavender flowers are. Wow, this making me want to grow more lavender. Probably I could propagate more of this lavender and put it in each of the raised bed. Even what's the name of this herb? I grew it by seed. It's called, I can't remember the name right now. I'll put the name on the screen once I remember the name. But they even love the flower. This herb smells like perfume. Honestly, I think I bought a perfume that's actually smells like that. So look, the bee love the flower of this herb. I have two plants at the apartment, and one I planted in the raised bed. But I heard that they're not hardy to cold weather. So the one that is at the apartment, I will bring it indoors when it starts to get cold. And I think I will actually start more by seed. Honestly, I don't know if these will reseed themselves. Maybe it will reseed itself. Only time will tell. But you can see the bees, they're enjoying the flowers.
It's incredible. That's great.
So I am so glad that my zinnia flower, they're starting to bounce back. I planted them too early this year, and they started to get too long, and I learned from that not to plant them so soon indoors. I think I planted them in March, and I realized that they grow faster than these that I plant by seed also. So these are pansy flower, and I plant them by seed, and they take forever to flower. They actually start flowering the beginning of July, and I planted them, I believe, the beginning of March. And they... Hello you guys, welcome to my channel, Lifestyle Gardener. Grow so slow. So the smaller flowers, I'm learning that you should plant them, start them by seed indoors, maybe in March. But the bigger flowers like zinnia, so forth, you don't plant them so soon. Maybe sometime in April indoors if you want earlier flower, or even plant them in May in the raised bed or indoors. So I'm so glad they're starting to look more beautiful. They were really struggling, but they look like they're gonna bounce back. So you guys, it's such a beautiful day today. the beginning of the garden season, the weather wasn't cooperating, and some of my plants, they died because I take too long to transplant them in the raised bed, and some survive, but they didn't look that great until recently. They're starting to look more better, like what I told you about the zinnia. That included my peppers, and look how beautiful my peppers. They're starting to bounce back. They're starting to look better. These are all sweet bell pepper, I believe. Some of them producing fruit, but the fruit is green, so you cannot really tell until you go really close. I'll show you one of them. So yeah, this one here, see if you guys can see that. See, it have a fruit on it. And the peppers that's struggling the most, still struggling, is my hot peppers. These peppers over here, but they're starting to bounce back, but they're not bouncing as quick as my sweet peppers. So instead of planting the hot peppers so soon, like I think I started to plant them, some of them I started to plant in the end of February. Maybe because the weather doesn't cooperate sometime, maybe I will start planting them in March. At least that way I'm not struggling trying to keep them alive. And if I get fruits later on during the season, that is fine, because that's what's already happening anyways. They haven't started to produce fruits yet, but I know soon they start producing flower and fruits. So in between the hot peppers that I have here, I have leeks growing in between them. And wow, the leeks take really long to grow. Really long to grow. And I have turnips. There's this pest that's eating the leaves, but you can see there's the roots, they're starting to grow in between, and little bit, some of my plants, they're turning yellow. I think they need more fertilizer. I have carrots here. They haven't started to form a root yet, but they look healthy. The sugar snap peas, they're starting to die back. Whatever fruit is on these one, I'm just going to let it dry naturally, and I'm going to pull them away from the raised bed soon and save the seed. Maybe I will replant the seed for a fall harvest, or just save the seed. But so it's good that I actually planted some stuff here by seed. I planted some cucumbers and squash by seed over there, and I will have space to put them over this raised bed where I harvest the garlic, and space to put it over where I'm going to harvest the turnips and the sugar snap peas over here. Another herb that the insects, they love and bees love is this one here. The parsley is flowering. It survived the winter last year, and it's surviving the weather. It survived the winter weather, and this year it decided to flower. I'm gonna let them reseed themselves and collect the seed also, because I found out that there's a ton of health benefit with the parsley. I should tell you about it. What I started to do at least every other day is to blend up some parsley leaves with some celery. These are celery. This celery is not as big as the one that I have in container at the apartment. I haven't harvested any one of these one yet, but they're starting to look more better. Yeah, these one, I think I planted it too soon this year. I believe I started to plant it in March or the end of February. Next time I'll plant them maybe in the beginning of April. And because I realize they grow really fast. So I'm learning, you know. So these are lemon thyme. The flowers are beautiful here. They smell really beautiful. And these are the kale that had survived the winter last year. And now they went to seed. So now the seeds are starting to dry. I'm going to collect the seed. And I won't have to buy this kind of kale anymore. I believe they're flat leaf kale. So now I know flat leaf kale, they will survive the winter weather here. And as you can see, I have pineapple sage there. I want to plant the other sage to next year. So I have callaloo. These callaloo are yellow. Callaloo, they're producing seed. I think I should prune them back so that they get bigger, because that's what I did with the ones in the apartment and they got bigger. So hopefully I remember to do that with these one. These are cosmos. I grow them by seed also. They haven't flowered yet. And in between I have dill flower. So these are sugar snap peas. I'm gonna have to pull them out soon too, and then I'll have space to put something else here. And these are Malabar spinach. They're not as big as the one that I growed in container, but they're starting to look more healthier. And these are Swiss chard. So one of the plants then that I take too long to transplant was my tomatoes, but they're starting to get taller. These are different kind of tomatoes. I don't remember the name of them, but they're starting to fruit. Their fruits are green, so you cannot really see them, and they have flowers. Let me see if I can find any fruit to show you guys. It's very hard to see the fruits because they're green. These are some of the fruits. I believe this one is golden tomato, golden fruit. I'm not sure. I won't know the name until they start to change color. So this is a sunflower. I think this is one of the dwarf sunflower. And in between I'm growing jalapeno. I got these jalapeno from the garden center because I planted a bunch of seed indoors and only a few of the jalapeno plant came up. So I decided to buy more from the garden center. I have to find a way to trellis these tomatoes because they're going to be really, really tall, and I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to do that. And I have to do it soon because I don't want them to cover my jalapeno plant because they need room to grow also. So wish me luck on that one. I really need luck with that one. So these tomatoes are the ones Roma. One is hybrid Roma and one is regular Roma. These one I take longer to plant these one, but they're starting to bounce back. And these are sunflowers and long beans. I'm growing in between. I'm hoping that it will trellis on the sunflower. and I was running out of space, so I didn't know where to put Mercer's chart, so I put it over here. And I'm kind of surprised that the rabbits haven't bothered that. The rabbits, they're actually not bothering my plants as much as I thought they would bother it, and I'm really glad because I didn't have a chance to fence around it. Oh, these are flat beans. I'm gonna harvest them fresh and use it in cooking. I plant a lot of beans and peas. Seeing that I'm plant-based, so I harvest a lot of sugar snap peas actually, and I planted a lot of beans. So I can harvest the beans and cook them fresh, and actually different kind of beans where I can dry some and just use the beans itself without the pods. And my eggplant over here, there it actually did look worse than what it looks now. There's I think Japanese beetles, they're eating them and biting on the leaves, and I just can't bother. I don't know what to do about that. So I just let them be and see if they will survive it. And so far it looks like they're gonna bounce back. They look like they're gonna produce fruit soon. The one that I have in container at the apartment is actually producing baby eggplants. I should probably show you guys those. So these are purple peas, purple beans, string beans. They will, you see, they form the purple flower. They will form the purple beans, and when you boil it, it turns green. See, I think that's Japanese. That's a form of Japanese beetle there. They're really targeting my eggplant. But there's eggplant that is hidden in between my other raised bed, in between the plants, so they don't recognize them as much. And these flowers too, they're taking forever to grow. I don't even know what the name of them is. These are zucchini. They actually look worse than that, but now they're starting to bounce back. And these are volunteer tubes. That was tube flowers that I grew last year. I just let them go all over in the raised bed. In the future, I'll probably dig them up and put it somewhere in the ground on our homestead, so I won't have to cut grass in that section once we're gonna do landscaping. That's gonna be way in the future. So these are chives. I planted 6 chives last year and only 2 survived the winter, so I dig them up and I put them in these raised bed. And this is echinacea. I'm probably gonna have to transplant some of these flowers that is in here by the end of the season, near the end of the season, and put them somewhere else. These are foxglove. I grow by seed. They're not flowering yet. And this is geranium. I'll put the name. I think I'm not pronouncing it properly. I actually propagate one of the plant and I put it inside here. I propagate it from this one. I grow them by seed, and it's pretty easy to grow. You guys should try to grow these by seed. You don't even need to buy the plant. It's so easy to grow. And these are the daisy flower that I bought last year. Having volunteer tomato plants all over. Maybe I just let this one grow. I think I'm gonna do that. So the bed in here is getting a little crowded. I will transplant them out in the future and put them somewhere else. And I'm having volunteer squash I killed like 2 already, and I just decided I'm not gonna kill anymore. I'm gonna have to dig up this squash soon and put it somewhere. Look how healthier it's growing compared to the ones I plant by seed. So I'm gonna have space to put it. I'm gonna dig it up and put it somewhere else, and hopefully they survive. So there's another flower too that I planted by seed, and it growing, taking forever to grow, and they're called sweet peas. And now they're starting to get longer and produce flowers. After so long, they're starting to produce flower. And this flower here I got from the garden center. It was way smaller, but I propagate plants from it, and I have some at the apartment. I will show it to you. They're growing, so I wanted to show you guys something else. Yeah, so I grow that by seed too, and this one by seed. They're called petunias, I believe. The lemongrass was one of the plants that was struggling, but they're starting to bounce back. By August, they should look more healthier. And ginger, look, you see the farming ginger root. So I bought this bushes here, this one here and that one there. I put the name on the screen. And this is turmeric and rosemary. I wanted to have rosemary plant here, but I leave it in container because I can't put it in a raised bed because they won't survive the winter. So I will bring it indoors when it starts to get cold. I propagate those plants. I will show you them. I'm starting to propagate them. I want to multiply many of them so I can make a border with them in the future. Anyway, so yeah, so this is my garden, and as you can see, the birds, they're really enjoying the bird seed. Oh, there's an insect got inside. I have a lot of blue jays eating the seed, and there's small little birds that like to come down and try to eat the seed on the ground, whatever seed that fall on. And the hummingbirds, they're loving this. One of the reasons why I also want hummingbirds, because I heard that they eat mosquitoes. So I put this hummingbird feeder, and now they come in more often to the hummingbird feeder. And some of the birds also eat mosquitoes. So that's the tour so far. I hope you guys, I should show you guys something else actually. So my rose bush, there's something eating it. There's something eating the flowers and eating the leaves actually. But hopefully I can figure out how to protect them. I'm really not good with that. Just learning, you know. But yeah, so that's a tour, you guys. Bye.